Food is one of the most ordinary parts of daily life, yet it's shaped by thousands of years of biology, culture, and experimentation. From cooking and fermentation to farming and preservation, food has influenced how our bodies work and how societies developed. Many things we assume are natural are actually the result of long adaptation and problem solving. In this video, we'll explore 20 food facts you've probably never heard. Fact 1. Humans are the only species that routinely uses controlled fire to cook food. Humans are unique in our approach to preparing food. No other species systematically controls fire and uses it daily to cook its food. Once early humans began cooking, food became more reliable, digestion became more efficient, and the human relationship with energy underwent a fundamental change. Cooking didn't just improve meals, it reshaped human biology, behavior, and evolution. Fact 2. Cooking increases calorie availability by breaking down complex molecules. Raw food still requires significant mechanical and chemical work inside the body. Cooking starts digestion early by denaturing proteins, gelatinizing starches, and softening plant cell walls. This turns calories that are hard to access into calories that are easier to absorb. The result is higher net energy from the same ingredients. Fact 3. Most foods we eat today are genetically very different from their wild ancestors. Modern food is the result of thousands of years of selective breeding. Humans favored plants with larger edible portions, less bitterness, fewer toxins, and more sugar, and animals that grew faster and were easier to manage. Over time, this reshaped the genetics of crops and livestock. Fact 4. Salt was so valuable that it functioned as money in some societies. For most of human history, salt was essential not only for survival but for preserving food. Before refrigeration, salting meat and fish made long-term storage, trade, travel, and large settlements possible. In regions where salt was scarce or difficult to produce, it became a high-value commodity, and in some societies, functioned as a medium of exchange rather than just a seasoning. Fact 5. Lactose tolerance in adults is a relatively recent evolutionary trait. Most mammals stop producing lactase after infancy. Humans are unusual because some populations evolved the ability to digest lactose into adulthood. This trait spread where dairy farming created a survival advantage. It's a clear example of culture shaping biology. Fact 6. The color of food strongly influences how we perceive its taste. Flavor is not just chemistry, it's expectation. Color shapes what your brain expects before food even reaches your mouth. When color changes, people often report different tastes even when the recipe is identical. This happens because the brain integrates sight, smell, memory, texture, and taste into a single experience. Fact 7. Bitter taste receptors evolved largely as a defense against toxins. Many toxic compounds produced by plants taste bitter. Animals that could detect bitterness were less likely to ingest harmful substances, giving them a survival advantage. Over evolutionary time, this pressure shaped bitter taste receptors as an early warning system rather than a guarantee of danger. Not all bitter foods are poisonous, and not all toxins taste bitter. But bitterness functions as a biological alarm, one that helped organisms navigate a chemically hostile environment long before modern food safety existed. Fact 8. Bread was one of the earliest complex processed foods humans created. Bread represents an early shift from simply consuming plants to deliberately engineering food. Making bread requires multiple intentional steps. From harvesting the grains, grinding them, mixing with water, shaping, and applying heat to transform raw plants into stable, energy-dense food. Archaeological evidence shows that bread-like products were being made by prehistoric humans thousands of years before agriculture became widespread. Fact 9. Sugar was treated as a medicine in many historical societies. For most of history, sugar was rare, costly, hard to produce, used sparingly, and often treated as a medicinal substance rather than a daily food. In medieval Europe and parts of the Islamic world, it appeared in medical texts and apothecaries, prescribed for ailments like digestive issues or fatigue. It was the rise of large-scale plantation agriculture that transformed sugar from a medicinal luxury into a daily staple. Fact 10. The smell of food contributes more to flavor than taste buds do. Taste buds detect only a handful of signals, but most flavor comes from smell. As you chew, aromas travel from the mouth to the nasal cavity in a process called retronasal olfaction. This is why food tastes dull when your nose is blocked. Smell is the hidden driver behind richness, complexity, and satisfaction in eating. Fact 11. Refrigeration dramatically reshaped global diets in the 20th century. Refrigeration changed what food could exist at larger scale. It enabled long-distance transport of perishables, expanded access to meat and dairy, and reduced dependence on local seasons. It reshaped agriculture, home cooking, restaurants, and global trade. Modern diets aren't just cultural, they're infrastructural, built on cold storage systems that quietly changed what people can eat year-round. Fact 12. Overcooking vegetables often reduces nutrient content more than gentle cooking. Many nutrients in vegetables are sensitive to heat, especially water-soluble vitamins like vitamin C and some B vitamins. Prolonged or aggressive cooking methods, particularly boiling, can destroy these nutrients or cause them to leach into cooking water. While cooking can improve the absorption of certain compounds, excessive heat generally reduces overall nutrient retention. Fact 13. Food preferences are shaped heavily by childhood exposure. Humans aren't born liking coffee, olives, or spicy food. Our food preferences are learned through repeated exposure, especially early in life when the brain builds a map of what is safe and familiar. Cultural food norms persist because children grow up surrounded by specific tastes and textures. Fact 14. Humans are omnivores by biology, not culture. Human anatomy and digestion are built for flexibility. We can extract nutrients from both plants and animals, allowing us to survive in a wide range of environments. Culture shapes dietary rules, but biology makes humans adaptive generalists. That adaptability is one reason humans spread successfully across the planet. Fact 15. Fermentation was a major food technology long before written history. Humans learned to use microbes to transform food long before modern preservation methods. Fermentation made foods safer, longer lasting, and often more nutritious by breaking down toxins, improving digestibility, and increasing vitamin availability. Archaeological and biochemical evidence suggests fermented foods and drinks existed thousands of years before writing systems. Fact 16. The idea of breakfast as the most important meal was strongly shaped by modern marketing. Eating breakfast can be beneficial for many people, but the belief that it is universally the most important meal of the day is a relatively recent cultural idea. This message was heavily reinforced during the 20th century alongside the commercialization of breakfast foods. Scientific evidence suggests that overall diet quality, lifestyle, and individual needs are more important than meal timing slogans. Breakfast helps some people thrive, but it is not a biological rule. Fact 17. Humans tend to overeat foods that are soft and easy to chew. Soft foods require less chewing and can be eaten quickly, which allows calorie intake to outpace satiety signals. Foods that require more chewing makes people eat slower, and also often feel more filling. Modern food environments remove friction, but appetite regulation hasn't evolved to keep up with that speed. Fact 18. Humans are born with taste preferences for sweetness and aversion to bitterness. Newborn infants show consistent taste responses across cultures. They naturally prefer sweet flavors and tend to reject bitter ones. Sweetness signals energy-rich foods like carbohydrates, while bitterness often signals potential toxins. While preferences can change with experience, the initial pattern reflects evolutionary pressures tied to survival and safety. Fact 19. Humans can survive much longer without food than without water. The human body stores energy in the form of fat and glycogen, allowing survival for weeks without food under certain conditions. Water, however, is essential for circulation, temperature regulation, and cellular function. Without adequate hydration, organ systems begin to fail within days. Fact 20. Many edible plants are toxic unless cooked properly. Plants defend themselves chemically and may contain compounds that irritate, poison, or interfere with digestion. Humans learn to neutralize these defenses through cooking, soaking, fermenting, and processing. A significant portion of human cuisine exists because we figured out how to make dangerous plants safe enough to eat. Thanks for watching. Make sure you tap the like button and subscribe for more facts videos if you enjoyed this one. Feel free to also leave a comment below if you learned something new. Until next time, take care.